Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we're from Group 1. We're going to give a presentation about naturalism, Western ideologies. So first, we're going to introduce ourselves.
My name is Akila Husna binti Suhini.
My name is Sofia Alia binti Mama Azuriza.
My name is Nurin Izzah binti Ahmad Fazisha.
My name is Amni Masara binti Ahmad Shahid.
My name is Nawar Atia binti Muhammad Sabirin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I'm going to start the presentation with the first one, that is introduction. So before we move to the deeper meaning about naturalism, I'm going to explain about philosophy. So basically, what is philosophy? So philosophy comes from the Greek word philosophia, means love of wisdom. What is exactly love of wisdom is? So love of wisdom, it's a field that study big question about life, knowledge, morality, logics, and also politics, and also even the human, our existence in this world. So what makes philosophy unique is that it connects all the knowledge together and help us understand better like how human makes sense of this world in this world. In short, philosophy explores how human thinks, how the question is, and we want to understand the reality of this world. So right now we're going to move our main topic, that is naturalism. So what is naturalism? Naturalism is the Western ideology that believes everything that happened in this world because of, or it can be explained through nature and scientific laws only. That's the main thing about naturalism. But naturalism itself, because they just believe about scientific things, they rejects all the supernatural elements, such as about the angels, about the miracles, about anything that beyond what science can prove. They just don't believe it. So that is naturalism. Because of this, naturalism has strongly influenced modern education, psychology, and also the culture of the Western culture. Like you all can see how the difference it is, like their life and also our life. Okay, so the last one. What is the purpose of studying this ideology? Basically, we're studying this understanding to help us understand better about how this worldview shapes the modern thinking and also society. So that's why by learning this, we can recognize how Western ideologies and also Western ideology influence people, especially in how they view their life, how their knowledge is, and also the most, like the main one is like the religion. That's the basic thing, right? So for us as a Muslim student, we have to like understand what naturalism is, so it can help us compare with the Islamic worldview. That is our own religion, right? So as a Islamic Islam itself, Islam really encourage scientific knowledge, but it also recognize the spiritual world, the divine revelations, also our purpose of life. So as a Muslim student, we have to know about that because that is our own religion, and we have to study naturalism too, so that we can identify the strength, the weakness, and also how the different it is with Islamic worldview, so that we can balance the perspective, each of the perspective. Yeah, and also with that, I will conclude our presentation, my presentation about philosophy, naturalism, and also the purpose. So we will move on to the concept and historical development of this ideology. Thank you.
And then I will continue with the concept and historical development of naturalism. As you guys know, naturalism is a philosophical view that claims all of reality consists of the material world. Any natural phenomena are explained through orderly natural laws that can be understood through science. There are three main concepts of this ideology. The first one is the causal closure. Causal closure means every physical event has a physical cause. Naturalism believes that all events in the world can be explained through science, not supernatural forces. As science developed, more and more phenomena that used to be explained by myths were proven to have natural, which is physical causes. The second one is the human as a product of nature. Naturalism views human as a fully part of nature, shaped by unguided evolution, not by supernatural creation. Our thoughts and consciousness are seen as functions of the brain, so human behavior is subject to the laws of nature. The third one, which is the last one, is the ethical naturalism. This concept says that morality comes from human nature, society, and facts about life, not from divine or magical sources. An action is considered good if it brings happiness, survival, or benefit to humans based on real world evidence. And then the historical development of naturalism. The history of naturalism grew gradually and can be understood in three main stages. The first one is the ancient period. During this time, people began to move away from mythological explanations of the world. Instead of relying on supernatural stories, they started to use reason, observation, and natural laws to understand reality. This became the earliest foundation of naturalism. Second, the Enlightenment period. In this era, the growth of science was extremely rapid. People discovered that nature follows fixed and predictable laws, and the world functions through orderly systems rather than divine intervention. This strengthened the naturalist idea that the world can be explained through evidence and rational thinking. Finally, the late 19th century, naturalism developed into a modern movement influenced by scientific advancement and positivism. This period emphasized determinism, the belief that human behavior is shaped by heredity, environment, and social conditions more than free will. Naturalism became especially strong in explaining how external factors determine human actions and destiny. In summary, naturalism evolved from early natural explanations, expanded through scientific reasoning, and matured into a movement focused on evidence, nature, and determinism. And then I will continue. We will move on to the next person, which is Amni.
Now, I will explain four characteristics and main beliefs in naturalism. First, naturalism rejects supernatural explanation, which is everything that happens in this world can be explained through natural laws. They deny miracles or events that break these laws. If something appears mysterious, it simply means science has not discovered the explanation yet. Second, naturalism relies on empiricism. This means knowledge must come from human experience, observation, and scientific method, not religious texts or traditions. Naturalists believe that only what can be tested or observed is reliable, and that the world is purely physical without any supernatural or spiritual realm. Third, naturalism says the universe has no ultimate purpose. Since they reject divine beings, naturalists see the universe as a product of natural processes, not a planned creation. Human life exists by chance. Our sense of morality and purpose is viewed as something that evolved to help humans survive. Lastly, naturalism rejects the immaterial souls. Humans are part of the natural world and follow the same physical, biological, and chemical laws as everything else. According to this view, the self or soul is not a separate spiritual entity. Instead, thoughts and emotions are simply a result of complex physical processes in the brain. Now we will move to the next part, which will be explained by Nawa.
Today, I will talk about the impact of naturalism on people in both society and education. First, in education, naturalism as an educational philosophy gives a new way to understand people. It sees how the world working on its own without control of higher power, and everything just happened naturally. This idea has influenced how teachers think about learning, and that's why naturalism is included in childhood education. In Jordan, for example, naturalism has shaped how teachers design lessons, thus assess students by giving them responsibility to their learning. This helped them to improve their learning and somehow support the country growth. Next, naturalism also looks on mind, body, and differences. Our mind, body, and experience are connected to the nature world. It's not just easy to say that the body just keep the brain alive. In the Latin saying, mens sana in corpore sano means a healthy mind in a healthy body. It's simple to say that the body only reacts when we feel emotion. People naturally experience the world differently. For example, women and men, or a poor black southern people and a wealthy urban white people. They have a different knowledge and perspective. Naturalism teach naturalism teach that we have to accept the differences, showing that our behavior, understanding, and emotion all is affected by nature and society. And I will pass it to the next part, which is Sophia, who will explain about strength and weakness of naturalism.
Okay, I will explain the last part, which is strengths and weakness of the naturalism. Basically, naturalism encourages studying and understanding the physical worlds. This makes the Quran's commands to reflect upon and learn from the creation, such as in Surah Al-Jathiyah, verse 13, stating all that is in the heavens and earth for humans to reflect on. Then, Islam also highly values seeking knowledge. As seen in the statement, seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim. Sunan Ibn Majah 224. So, both naturalism and Islam agree upon open attitude to learning and exploring the world. But Islam also recognizes Allah's greatness and does not deny His existence. Then we're gonna move on to the weakness, which is first, naturalism denies metaphysical realities and God's existence, which is they are rejecting angels, souls, and anything beyond nature. This is the opposite of Islam teaching, which is based on the faith in Allah, belief in the unseen, and prophetic guidance, such as in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 2, which states guidance for those conscious of Allah based only on human opinions and reasoning. So, they risk changing easily and losing spiritual accountability. Islam teach that right and wrong come from the Allah guidance from Surah An-Nisa verse 105. State, judge by what Allah has revealed, and that ethical care for nature comes from God's rule in Surah Al-A'raf verse 31. Then, naturalism's morals, like those found in the utilitarianism only, focus on what people want, while Islam emphasizes divine rules and responsibility. So, in short, naturalism and Islam are similar in encouraging studying and knowledge of world, but naturalism denies of the spiritual and divine, making it incompatible with Islam worldview based on faith, unseen realities, and God's guidance. That's all.
Okay, so right now I'm going to explain to you all the just a brief conclusions about what we all just explained to you guys. So basically, naturalism is a worldview that focus entirely on the physical world and so the scientific explanations. So throughout the history, from the Greek philosophers until the modern scientific era, naturalism become a powerful ideology that shapes how people understand their life, the knowledge, and also the human behavior. So this worldview has strengths that such as their encouraging observations, reason, and also scientific study. So these aspects are also supported in Islam, but um, yeah, it is supported in Islam, which values the knowledge and also reflections on the natural worlds. However, naturalism has a clear limitations because it rejects the existence of the supernatural elements such as the soul, the unseen world, the divine revelations, and also the ultimate purpose of our life. So the concept which these concepts are the essentials in the Islamic worldview. So this make naturalism incomplete because it focuses on the only physical side of the life and ignore the spiritual dimensions. So okay, but in Islam, both science and faith work together, complete together. Islam accepts the scientific knowledge, but also emphasizes that Allah is the creator, the one who gives purpose, morality, and guidance. Therefore, that's why studying naturalism help us understand modern thinking, but it also shows us the Islamic worldview provides a complete balanced understanding of reality, so that's why combining the reason, science, and spiritually really makes how naturalism and Islamic worldview works together. Okay, that's all from us. So I will end this presentation on naturalism. Thank you.
Welcome back to Philosophy in 60 Seconds Ish. What is naturalism? Naturalism is the most prominent atheistic worldview and claims that nature is self sufficient. Now, naturalism has meant different things when coming from the mouths of different people, but according to at least one prominent naturalistic philosopher, for a worldview to be naturalistic, it must satisfy the following three criteria. One, that natural reality exhausts causal reality. Two, that mindedness is late and local. And three, that nothing is divine. While it is difficult to say precisely what a natural entity or natural causal property is, the general idea is that a natural causal entity or natural causal property would be that which is recognized in an ideal completed true science. Thus, a naturalistic ontology is constrained by a broadly scientistic epistemology. In other words, what exists is what science tells us exists. And so, apart from rejecting the existence of God, naturalists also tend to reject Yeti, unicorns, karma, and chi.
Oh my god, Iza, are you okay? You look sick. Did the medicine help?
Not really, Nor. But I will just get a stronger medicine. Science can fix anything, right? No need for dua.
But dua is also important. Healing comes from Allah.
No, Amni. Everything's happened because of biology. If science can prove it, I don't trust it.
But Iza, not everything in life can be measured. Sometimes the hearts need healing too.
I only believe what science can show. Nothing more.
Okay, Iza, based on your result, I think the fever is still high. So, I will prescribe you a stronger medicines. But remember, medicines only work by Allah's wills.
Doctor, I just need medicine. Nothing else. Why am I still sick, guys? I follow the instruction exactly.
Maybe because you rely only on medicine, not on Allah.
Yes, healing is not just physical. You forgot the spiritual part.
You don't have to choose between the medicine and prayer. You can do both.
Okay, guys. Maybe I ignore Allah. Science alone is not enough.
Okay, guys, we just watched this scenario where the girl rely only on medicine but didn't pray or make dua. So, what do you all guys think about this situation?
Actually, this is common. A lot of people today think like that. They depend on doctors, science, and medicine as if those things alone can solve everything.
Yeah, me. And that mindset is what we learn as naturalism. Naturalism basically we learn as only the physical world is real, meanwhile the spiritual world doesn't exist. So people only believe that healing comes from medicines, biology, and even chemistry. Yeah.
And because of that belief, they forget the role of Allah. Islam teaches us to use science, but to also remember Allah controls everything. Like healing comes through medicine, but healing also comes from Allah.
Exactly. The situations in the video shows the weakness of the naturalism. It cannot explain things like soul, face, unseen world, or inner peace. Islam teaches us that humans are not just bodies but also spiritual beings.
Agreed. That's why Islam gives us a complete worldview. It accepts science, encourages learning, but also it reminds us that we should rely only on Allah.
So, from watching this, we can see that many people today are influenced by naturalism without realizing it. But as Muslims, we need balance. Use medicine but also pray. Use knowledge but also put trust in Allah.